Welcome back to Mining Your Future. I'm Danielle Marchant.
And I'm Maggie Dorf.
So what are some of the things that you have lined up this week?
This week is going to be fantastic. We have Brandon, who is the youngest person we've featured, a heavy-duty equipment mechanic. And after that, Jill, a geologist, one of the first on the ground.
Wow, well, I'm excited to see what you bring back.
Let's get going. So we've just arrived at SMS Equipment, where we're going to meet Christine. She is the executive assistant, which basically means she covers a lot of ground, and I can't wait to take a look. Let's head her in. Hi, I'm Maggie Dorf.
Hi, Maggie. I'm Christine Palmer.
Wonderful. We've been very excited to come and follow you around and see what it is that you do all day.
Well, we've been looking forward to having you.
Super.
Okay, let's check it out. My name is Christine Palmer. I'm the administrative assistant at SMS Equipment. SMS Equipment is a nationwide corporation that supplies equipment, parts, and service to the construction, forestry, and mining industries. SMS Equipment has a rental division, and it's called Komatsu Rents. And they supply short-term rental solutions to our customers within Western Canada. Some of my key areas of responsibilities is to oversee the office operations, make sure that everything is running smoothly and effective and efficiently. I need to make sure that if there's any problems in our business flows, to identify those and correct them.
Cool. And this is what you look out to.
Yeah,
a bunch of trucks.
Beautiful.
You overlook your toys. So your day starts in here. I mean, you come in here, you get settled
Every
in,
day.
right? You start going over a bit of a to-do list, probably some emails, right?
Yeah, go through all my emails. There's always tons to catch up on.
For sure.
One of another really big important things I do is creating a whole bunch of reports for the general manager of rental operations. We go over the reports, and it's a tool for us to help manage the business and make decisions. I get a lot of variety, and nothing ever gets boring. One of the big tasks, I guess, or projects we have twice a year is counting inventory.
Okay.
Komatsu rents a lot of equipment. We have about 300 machines and about 1,000 attachments.
Holy smokes.
It's a bit of a task to make sure that we count them all and have everything accounted for.
As opposed to have bits and pieces missing or something.
Yeah, and you know, that does happen. This time, for instance, we're missing a bucket.
This time?
Yeah.
We're missing a piece right now?
We are missing a piece right now.
Oh boy. Do you think maybe we could head out to the yard and take a look if it's
Let's
out
give
there
it a try.
somewhere?
Let's go find it.
Maybe?
think we
I don't
should
know.
try.
Maybe.
It's worth a shot.
Okay, let's go check it out. Okay, super. Let's go find a bucket.
Not so fast. We just have to do one more thing before we go out.
Oh.
Because we're so big on safety, we have to fill out an FLRA, which is a field level risk assessment.
Perfect.
So we just assess any of the hazards that we're going to be
encountering. Well, you know, finding a bucket is tough stuff, so there may be some hazards
There's
involved.
There's always hazards. So we just fill this out, and then we'll get Dan to sign it, and then we'll be off.
Super.
Okay, I'll just go get Dan to sign off, and we'll go out.
Perfect. She'll wait. Mission bucket.
All right.
Perfect.
We just keep it on us.
Let's head her on in there. Okay, off to the yard we go.
Off to the yard.
We needed a few pieces of safety equipment before heading on into this yard.
Absolutely. We need our safety glasses.
Yep.
High-vis vest.
Yep.
Steel toe boots.
Check. So this bucket could be anywhere.
Yeah, I mean, really, it could be on a machine. It could be loose.
Under a machine.
It could be
on
completely in another area of the yard, or it could not be in the yard. So,
well, here we go.
Where do we start?
Exactly. I'm gonna head that way.
All right.
And you head that way.
Okay.
And we'll regroup and
we'll meet in the middle.
Sounds good.
Okay. I've been in this industry for 5.5 years. When I came into it, I knew absolutely nothing about it. I barely knew what the equipment was called. I started out in sales for the branch, and then product support for corporate, then an assistant for the BC region, and now here I am in Komatsu Rents. I've learned even how to run the equipment. They've taught me how to run an excavator and stuff like that. So it is fun, and I've definitely got to get out there and not just sit behind a desk. Some of the fun things that we do are like trade shows and conventions or just events with the company. I would say get into the company at a starting level. There's just so many paths to take from there. Anything from in the shop or in an office or management, anything. There's just so many paths to take in the industry.
There are so many fun, challenging office and administrative positions in this industry. Ones that not only provide financial stability, but also a steady and reliable schedule. So if you're a soccer mom, for example, who loves spending evenings with her family while holding a full-time or part-time job, it's well worth looking into these options.
Simon Fraser University's Contemporary Arts Campus in Vancouver's downtown east side is a center for creative discovery, dialogue, and collaboration in a broad range of artistic disciplines. The building is named Goldcorp's Center for the Arts in recognition of Goldcorp's 2010 donation of $10 million. Half of Goldcorp's funding went to the SFU's Contemporary Arts Capital Campaign. $5 million was designated for an endowment fund supporting programs aimed at community engagement with Vancouver's transitional downtown east side. Goldcorp is proud to support SFU's unique contemporary arts program, a magnet for art scholars and enthusiasts from across Vancouver and around the world.
Hi.
Hey, that's not a shoebox.
No, it's not a shoebox.
What's going on then?
I'm going to meet Brandon at the Walter Energy Mine, and he's a heavy-duty equipment mechanic, so I brought my own tools.
That's that young guy, isn't it?
Yes.
Ah.
This is getting really heavy. Can I go now?
No, not yet. Yeah, now you can go.
Next up, we're job shadowing a heavy-duty equipment mechanic. It's a talented young guy by the name of Brandon, and he's got a world of pressure on him. We're told that some of the machines, when they're down on these sites, they're costing the company anywhere between $300 to $500 per minute. And it's up to Brandon to get them back up and running. You must be Brandon.
Yeah,
Very nice to meet you. I hear you're the mechanic on site.
Sure am.
Right on. So I get to follow you around and see what it is that you do all day long.
Let's go. My name is Brandon Mosier. I'm the heavy-duty mechanic at Walter Energy. When I was 17, I did a dual credit program. It's where my high school pays for my tuition to go take a trade while I was still in high school. So I come out of high school with my first year heavy-duty and my foundation level, and I got hired on with a logging company and started mining a little while ago.
Were you scared when you first came on site and stuff? This is so intimidating to me. It's huge.
It's a little nervous. It's actually pretty. I still get nervous driving those things. I just got signed off on to drive them from the shop.
Really?
And so when we finish something servicing, we take them up to the right line, we parked or whatever, and driving them, these roads are a little, not narrow, but they're a little nerve-wracking to drive.
Have you ever had a situation where somebody said something was wrong with the machine and you're like, no, that's not what's wrong with it, this is what's wrong with it?
It happens quite often.
Yeah.
I enjoy the self-accomplishment of fixing something. The machine's down, it's not making any money, you come in, you save the mine, I guess.
Very, very cool. Wow, this is like a deck. This is so cool. That was no joke. So a machine like this, it's insane. The size of it is insane, and all of these gadgets and gizmos and buttons and whatnot. So these are notes that were left for you by the operator.
These are operators. They do it every day. They go through the truck like we do. Take a look at all the things, and we go, and if the truck's sitting, we'll go fix whatever's on there if it's sitting for the day. Because usually these are just minor things, because it can still run if it's not a big deal.
Okay. So if you saw something in there that was whoa, really bad.
Well, usually if it's something really bad, it would happen while he's driving. Usually you might get a slight leak and the next guy might catch it. So, and then it just gets worse and worse until I have to fix it, or if I catch it before that.
Right, and then if a machine is down, obviously that's no good because it's not in production, so it's costing a lot of money.
But what's the worst case scenario? What, like a couple of days? Or would you never allow a machine to be down?
Parts, waiting on parts, and it takes a while to get stuff like that.
Sure.
Sometimes you get a weird noise that you need to hear because the operators are trying to explain it.
Sure, and you're like, what?
Yeah, they're making all these funny noises over the radio, so you have to go listen to yourself.
It goes like this.
Yeah, exactly. So we come over and I jump in the truck and go for a ride, and I actually got seasick coming out of the pit.
Oh, no way.
Because it's just so, these things ride so smooth, like it's just like riding a Cadillac.
Oh, wow. One of the coolest things that I found out about Brandon is that he's actually on this site, and he started to do this job as he was in school. So he's going into his 3rd year now.
Yeah, I'm a 3rd year now, yeah.
Wow, and all of this experience, this wealth of knowledge, including an awesome paycheck, is happening literally as he was going through high school and into college, which is pretty fantastic for a lot of those young kids out there.
Why would I need to leave when all the work's here?
Especially when you get 5 weeks vacation to go wherever you want and do whatever you want.
Exactly. Been other places, I enjoy it. I like staying there for a vacation, but then I like coming home.
Yeah.
Been a year out of high school. I make more than my parents did, and they've worked their whole lives. They've worked over 20 years, and I'm a year out of high school, and I'm already making more than them.
For a mechanic such as yourself, being ticketed is kind of like the current top of the top? Or?
Oh yeah, that's what you strive for, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I'm so impressed at how you're spitting out like 75 R2D2.
Yeah, sounds pretty smart.
It's like, what is he talking about? It's pretty cool.
Almost sounds like I know what I'm talking about.
It almost sounds like you know what you're talking about. It totally does.
See, there's 211, that's where we're going to. That big track machine there, orange thing.
That orange thing, okay.
Yeah.
Now you're talking my language, that big orange thing right there.
When this machine's down, this is really rough number, but it's around $216 a minute to be down. So that's the number they throw at it.
Just to motivate you to move a little bit faster, eh?
Yeah, exactly. We get a whole day, like a whole shift for it to work on these things. So it's down for 12 hours, our whole shift.
And then how often does it get like a 12-hour break?
500 hours.
I mean, 500 hours. These machines don't get a big break.
No, none at all.
Which is why people like you are so important.
What happens to a machine when you guys deem that it's like RIP mode?
All right. Oh, sorry.
Like,
well,
done.
This machine is too expensive. Just call it RIP. Like, an engine blows up, we replace the engine. There's so many jobs, different jobs. Like, being a mechanic's just one of them. Like, on my days off, I head out to my cabin out at the ski hill, and I stay a week out there and just snowboard the whole time in the winter. And in town, I can go fishing, I can go boating, I can go biking, whatever I want to do.
It goes without saying that Brandon's professional and financial accomplishments versus his very young age is a feat worth a standing ovation. But what's even more amazing is the positive and relaxed attitude and approach he maintains despite the world of pressure he faces at work every day. Saying I was impressed with his quality of work and with his character would be an understatement.
The mining program at BCIT is a very applied, hands-on, relevant program.
It is a technology program, and we're one of 2 in Canada. It's a mixture of both mineral exploration and mining. And it covers everything in the mining industry, all the way from the beginning of mineral exploration and how to find minerals and the genesis of minerals and how minerals are deposited, all the way through to mining, mineral processing. Environmental aspects are very important, and the economics.
Part of the educational process at BCIT is ensuring that our programs are relevant, that we've talked to our industry stakeholders, and we find out what it is that they're looking for.
I think it's unique because it's such a practical program where we develop their abilities out in the field. It's always a surprise when you go out there to a group of meeting of mining executives and realize how many of them went through BCIT to begin with.
Students come here that are looking for a job in the mining industry. We realize the impact that some of our graduates are having in the mining world. The graduates of our program are highly sought after by not only industry, but other post-secondary institutes as well. Many of them are leaders, not just in British Columbia, but in Canada. And this is a great role model for the students to see what they can become.
Hey, so how was Brandon?
He did great. For a guy that young, he dealt with all that pressure fantastically.
Nice. So what's next?
Next, we have Jill. She's a geologist, one of the very first people on the ground, so super excited.
Wow. Well, does she travel?
A lot.
Ah.
So I'm gonna go. Okay. Let's go meet Jill, the geologist from Yukon Zinc. Hey, Jill.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm Maggie.
Hi, Maggie.
Nice to meet you. So I'm trying to wrap my head around this whole mining industry thing, and you're the geologist that we're job shadowing, a very iconic part, I must say. What is it that you're doing here exactly?
Taking some rock samples. I found some pretty interesting stuff. My name is Jill Moore. I'm an exploration geologist. I work for Yukon Zinc. We look for mineralization, base metal, copper, lead, zinc, silver, gold in our district. And we're looking to increase our resources and reserves at our mine site. We take soil samples every 25 meters, every 100 meters in a grid pattern.
Okay.
And then all that data gets collected. Those soil samples go off to the lab.
So like literally collecting soil?
Literally collecting soil.
Literally.
I was looking through these rocks and I found some alteration minerals, and then I found some little flecks of galena in here, which is lead mineralization.
So that's a good thing.
That's a good thing. So I thought I would take some samples of it, and then I, took the sample, broke up the rock into a suitable size, fits into a bag, put a sample tag in.
Okay.
And then this will go in a big plastic bucket off to our laboratory.
Okay.
So I'll just throw this into my backpack.
Wow, and you carry loads of that around with you, basically,
Yeah,
right?
plus all of our gear and, all my safety gear and stuff. You gotta have it with you.
Wow.
Throw that into my backpack and then off it goes. And
cool.
As a geologist, you could work in a number of different areas. You could work in environmental geology. You could work for a city doing geotechnical work. You could work for a mining company. You could also work for the government.
How long are you gone?
I can leave for very long periods of time.
Oh, really?
I can pretty much leave for 6 months.
And you're out in the bush like that for 6 months at a time?
You do need to love traveling and be able to just go take all your stuff and be gone for a while.
Looking at what you do, I think that's my favorite part of what I'm seeing is that it's very diversified. You get to go out there and get dirty and have fun out in the field, but then you also have your sort of administrative type stuff that you take care of, which is really neat.
I was going out hiking with a friend of mine who's a geologist. He'd always say, well, why don't you come out with me today? Let's go hiking. You can just accompany me. So I'd go out and we'd start to do all this work and collect rock samples and look at topographic maps and follow trails. And I pretty much just changed all my courses at university and went straight into geology. I think women are great at this job because we're very detail-oriented. We can look at something and start asking a whole bunch of questions like, why is this laminated and why is this more of a net texture? Mm-hmm. And those are details that you need to notice as a geologist.
For sure.
You can do something different pretty much every day. I actually have like 16 projects, and I'll try to push these projects forward to find the most mineralization on one project, and hopefully one day develop that into a mine site. That entire process can take 10 years to get to sort of a deposit state. The first year that you're out there, you might take a bunch of soil samples and you find a really interesting anomaly. You go back there the next summer and you look for really good rock samples in that area and do a bunch of mapping work. You might go back the third and fourth summer and drill a bunch of targets and run a bunch of geophysical surveys. So you're looking at combining a bunch of different applications. You're combining chemistry, physics, math, a lot of field work, a lot of hard work. I was soil sampling up this mountain. I got, fairly close to the top, so I was like really quite excited. I came up to the top of this ridge, and there was a big grizzly bear just sort of circling around the other side. I wasn't sure if he was really interested in me, and I think he was because he just kept coming closer and closer. So I just smoked myself up this tree, and I called our helicopter pilot to come pick me up. Work doesn't completely consume me. I do a lot of sports because I like to stay fit and stay in shape, because obviously work, if you're in the field, you got to be fit to be out there for sure. I think it's a very dynamic career. There's definitely ups and downs. As long as you're willing to travel, you're going to be working.
A geologist may very well be one of the most fundamental puzzle pieces in the entire world of mining. Spending the day with Jill taught me a great deal about her career, if not to say fascinated me. There is definitely a lot of education and training required to become a good geologist, but if looking for treasure is your thing, it's certainly worth the hard work in school.
Hi, I'm Rob Stevens. Welcome back to Fact Digging. Did you know that over the past 150 years in BC, the mining industry has generated over $700 billion in revenue? And what is even more impressive is that this $700 billion in revenue was generated by using less than 1% of the provincial land base. Mining has one of the highest average annual salaries of any industry in Canada, at about $110,000 per year. And that's more than 50% higher than the average salaries of many other industry sectors, including manufacturing, finance, and construction.
Next week is our very final episode.
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, okay. Well then, tune in next week for our season finale. It promises to be a blast. For Mining Your Future, I'm Maggie Dorf. Danielle? Okay. And that's Danielle Marchand. You okay?